All right, welcome to your podcast, Bam.
Thank you, Bear.
Thank you, Mike.
Welcome back to Brown Overboard, guys. I'm here today with a very special guest, the one, the only, the king of extreme,
Hello, Bear Brown, self-proclaimed king of extreme. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Brown Overboard podcast, where we always go overboard with everything. Da 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 da. All right, hopefully that's not too loud into your speaker. You ready?
No, actually, that is so redlining. You're going to damage the microphone.
Uh-oh.
So we are going to have to definitely tone that
Good thing
down.
I didn't go louder over there. All right. I'm making a trip pretty soon. So how does this work? You hit me with questions?
Well, I do want to say that is the drastic opposite of how Noah, because you know Noah with the just so
calm, kind of like
quiet,
like classical
monotone.
music. Yeah,
so
kind of like.
I don't think I have to worry about you being, too quiet.
Too close, too far from the mic. Testing. Oh, should I not have gotten louder as I was getting closer? Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, just let's not scream directly into the microphone.
All
I
right.
cannot replace this.
Okay, so what episode number are we on right now?
So this, so I'm not sure. The order that I release the episodes is not always set in stone.
Of course.
So currently, as it sits right now in the present of where we're sitting, I've aired 14 episodes.
14, okay.
So far,
dang.
but I want to have time to advertise yours a little bit. So I don't think I'm going to make yours the next one that airs.
Perfect.
That's in like a couple days from now.
Always save the best for last.
I think yours is going to be like next week's episode.
Okay,
so most likely yours will be episode 16.
16, okay. So welcome to episode 16. Maybe.
Right. Tentatively episode 16.
Yeah, there you go. There we go.
So one thing I've done episodes, with several members of the family.
Yeah.
I sat down with Mom, Gaby, Bear, Noah. Gaby, Noah, and I sat down together. I said
Nice.
just Gaby, just Noah.
Very good.
The ones with Mom are the ones I recorded like 3 years ago.
Yes, I remember back when I did that one that I did that ended up having the messed up audio.
I managed to salvage the audio.
Oh, did
for
you?
those with
Oh.
Mom, but not
Okay,
the
the one's Mom. Okay, yes.
I
yeah.
think it had to do with the way we filmed it.
Okay, it was echoey in that room, actually, coming to the theme. And if I remember right, we pretty much just talked about my horror movie I was working on, too.
I think we did. We pretty much just talked about your horror movie.
I think so.
for
I
like
think
an
it was.
hour
I think so.
I think so.
I think it was.
So one thing I wanted to talk about, I've been telling a bunch of stories and behind the scenes things from like the show and stuff like that. But one of the things I thought would be interesting to go over and talk about, and I was going to do it on a solo one, but since you were there, and it was a big thing for you too, I wanted to talk about with you, and that was when we ran the marathon.
Oh, yeah, the Inter-Island International Marathon.
The Prince of Wales Island International Marathon from the Hollis Ferry Terminal to Craig.
I believe that was May 9th, maybe, 2009. May something, 2009.
I think it was May.
It was definitely May, for sure.
2009. I remember that for sure. It says it on the medal. It was 2009, and we ran 26.7
or 26.3, whatever the classic marathon is. It escapes me. It's definitely 26, full run, yeah. So I remember it was really cool. There were a couple things with it. So we, of course, trained a little bit beforehand, and poor Gabe.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always pretty active. This guy is actually pretty active too. He can actually go a good ways. This guy, he's got a lot of stamina, believe it or not, and he can just hold a pace. But Gabe was the one I felt bad for. So when we originally were training for it, Gabe had like sandals, and it was the day before, wasn't it?
It was like the day before, but to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember that Dad. He just came to me one day and he was like, "Do you realize they're running a marathon here in town?" Because we had always talked about that kind of stuff and whatnot. And so Dad was like, "There's a marathon going on here in town, and it's an international marathon." And I was like, "Well, I want to run that. I want to run the marathon." Dad was like, "There's no way. It's in 2 weeks." And I was like, "No, I want to do it. I'm signing up for it." And Dad was like, "Okay, you can sign up for it." And as soon as this guy heard that I was going to do it, of course he had to tag.
Yeah, I wasn't really into like necessarily like competing in something. I used to be extremely competitive. I'm still a little competitive then, but I was like, dadgummit, if Bam's doing it, I'm doing it too. And quite a few of us, the four brothers of us, actually, everybody but Noah, signed up to do it. And we had about 2 weeks or so to train for it. which like I'm pretty active usually anyway.
This guy runs all the time, and I remember Dad saying, he's like, if I'm paying this money for you all this time, you're running the marathon.
Yeah.
And I remember we practiced like he would jog anyway. He ran all over the place. He always runs. And I remember I would jog around. I measured out, like Dad took the car and measured out an area where we were staying.
Yeah, so it
was that clocked like a
yes, it was like it's 2
miles.
Yes.
If I ran that, I was running 2 miles.
Yeah.
And I only trained for like that 2 weeks because I'm a pretty active guy myself, but I'm not an active like runner all the time.
But he can hold a steady pace all day, literally. He can walk fast all day, literally. But he can also hold a jog pace for a long time. I think we probably still can nowadays. You know?
Yeah, I've always been able to do that when I keep my pace. The jogging pace.
Yeah.
If I hold my pace, I can pretty much do it all nonstop.
Now, one thing that I had thought and we had decided was we were kind of gonna try to run a little bit together at first. And so for like the first hour or something like that, I'm pretty sure we like, even Gabe, we all stayed together for like the first hour, but he ended up getting shoes from a thrift store. And so we were like 2-3 miles in, I think, and he said his feet started like going like numbish, and so
he was running kind of funny.
He was. His
and
feet,
like this dude's always had tennis shoes. This guy, he loves to run, so Dad always made sure he had a pair of tennis shoes.
I like a cool pair of shoes too.
At that time, I only owned a pair of cowboy boots, so I was running around, if you remember, in a pair of cowboy boots.
Mismatching for the training.
So I ran around in cowboy boots.
Yes.
That's all I had. And I went to the thrift store. I went to the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a pair of shoes. So what I ended up doing was I took one shoe from one pair and another shoe, for like the right shoe from one pair of shoes. I took the left shoe from another pair.
Yes, I thought yours were the mismatches. I took some shoe glue and
I put them. Yeah. I fixed them up. And so I ran the marathon with mismatching shoes, which are also what I trained in. But Gaby, it was like the day before we ran the marathon.
Yeah, it literally was.
He jogged around. He practiced in flip-flops.
And so he's actually got more stamina than you'd think. Yeah, he actually
especially for a big dude.
Yes, he does. He's got some stamina.
And he had practiced for like the 2 weeks or so-ish, not as extremely as we did, or as extreme as we did. But he didn't get the shoes till like the day before the marathon. So yeah, like Bear was saying, he was wobbling from the jump.
Poor guy.
And it was about 40 minutes.
I think it was like 40 or so minutes.
Together.
Yeah, we ran together at first.
This dude, like a crazy guy, though, he took off with the pack of runners because there were people that flew in from all over. Yeah,
those guys are impressive, guys. Those guys are like marathon runners, really impressive. I decided
stayed with them for a little bit, came back to run with us
So I went with the initial run, and then I kind of stopped, and we walked for a good ways. I think it was like an hour and something before they were like, just go, Bear. I think it was an hour. It was
almost an hour. It was.
I think it was
something.
Yeah, it was close too. Yeah, it might have.
An hour, and we were like, Bear,
we were just walking,
just go.
And so then I went ahead and just jogged, and I actually did not stop jogging after that point, but I was like, I wasn't ever attempting to necessarily like compete in like to have a high position. So that's why I was doing it leisurely. I was hanging back with the guys. You know, we were having fun with it. But I did want to complete the marathon.
That was the thing. For us, it was about completing it.
Exactly.
I wasn't delusional. I knew I wasn't going to beat
those guys are good.
Runners that run the international marathons. Yeah. So for us, it was completing the mission. It was doing it in the time allotted. It was crossing that finish line before the 7 hour mark.
I think it's 6 hours and 45 minutes was the cutoff, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been 7 hours, but I think 6 hours and 40 is the cutoff.
So completing was the mission. It was just to complete the marathon.
So if you don't complete it within a certain amount of time, it's game over. So that was the main thing that we were competing for, was to try to actually place where we ran the full marathon, which we ended up doing. It was quite
spoiler.
A feat. A little bit. We didn't run it. It was quite a feat. Not all of us made it, though. So Gabe, unfortunately, his feet started going numb and stuff, and he's like, I can't feel my toes. And Dad's like, well, you better drop out, Gabe. He's like, oh, I don't want to. How far in am I? I think it was 3-4 miles at that point.
He made 3 miles.
Was it 3? Okay, because I know he was doing good.
It was a little ways, but it wasn't a lot. It might have been less than 3. He might not have made it quite the 3
Possibly. I don't remember that. It was a while ago.
And the thing was that Dad and Noah were in our car, and because they had relay areas
Oh, they were actually relaying for the whole marathon.
Yeah, so they worked with people from town because they had different stations set up throughout the race, and some people would drive back and forth, like the newspaper people drove back and forth taking photos of runners and stuff. Because we made it in the paper for being like some of the only locals.
Yeah, we were locals. Yeah, only a few locals ran it.
And so Dad had come back and seen that Gaby was doing really poorly, and he's like, "Gaby, you're gonna hurt yourself." And I was like, "Gaby, you're gonna make me lose the marathon. You gotta quit."
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Because I wouldn't leave. I'm too much of a big brother. I wouldn't leave him. And I demanded that Bear just go and run.
Yeah, and so I went ahead and did take off at that point, and I actually didn't stop. I wasn't at a super fast running pace. I was at a steady jog pace.
For you, it's still pretty quick.
I'm not the slowest out there. I'm pretty good. The group though, those guys are fast. They had already been in the lead. They had basically an hour head start. So I was just trying to make it to compete, honestly, and I was hoping that they were going to catch up. But unfortunately, they ended up not. I did one time go back a little bit to check on them. I just jogged back a little bit, just making sure that they were still in it. And bam, and then they were. And so I sprinted a little bit to try to gain back my time. But like I said, I was just trying to complete it. That was my mission, was to complete it. But it chafed my legs, so I ended up blistering my feet really bad. And I ended up blistering the tops of my legs, like chafing them super bad. And I remember I was jogging this one person, I was trying to pass them. So I'm like jogging him and I'm waiting. They were in the distance. I think they were the only other local that ran it. And so this was a while into it, a few hours into it.
It was us, and then so there was the main race, there was the main marathon, and then there was a relay where you could run a few miles past a baton.
Yeah.
And so there was a group of people from town, locals, that were running the relay.
Yeah.
And then the only locals that ran it were us and two other people, but one of them, so Gaby and one other local dropped out. Towards the Gaby dropped out towards the beginning. The other local dropped out.
He made it
I think
a pretty
around
good ways.
a quarter.
I think it was about a quarter, maybe half.
Or so.
He made it a pretty good
And then the other local also made it. So
yeah,
it
he
was
ran
just the three of us, three brothers, and the one local that did actually cross the finish
but it was like,
go ahead.
Yeah, it was like, so the other local was actually good. He kept up with the marathon people for a while. And like I said,
I passed him. I did pass. I passed.
No spoilers. So I had held back, like I mentioned, and so I was jogging. I was just doing my own thing, and then I saw the other local guy way up in the distance. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to pass this guy. So I just, I'm a little competitive. So I just started pacing myself, to where I do the jog, and then I do a faster run, and then I do a little jog. And as long as you're making more steps than they are, you're slowly gaining. So slowly, I'm gaining on this dude.
Not to interrupt, because this dude's idea of resting, he would run and then he would slow down to a normal jog to rest.
That's resting, yes.
And then he would then run again. So that's how Bear was able to clear a lot of distance.
Yeah, so I was able to cover some ground faster because I would go from like just a full-blown run. I was once clocked with an app, two different apps. I was clocked at being able to run 18 miles an hour, which I clocked myself, which I didn't realize is considered pretty fast. So say the apps might have been messed up. We'll say at least 14. But both apps did say 18. But anyway, I knew once I wanted to pass him, but I knew that I didn't want to pass him and then go into a slower jog and then him pass me again. So I caught up to him. Just a little bit to where he's a little bit in front of me, and I stopped and I went to the jogging pace, and then I went ahead and did my fast run, passed him, pushed it a little bit, and then held the jog. He did not pass me. So then I ended up jogging, and I saw a relay person in front of me. So like he was saying, the relayers carry like a torch basically, and they jog and then they give it to someone else. So I ended up jogging and trying to pass the relay person as well, which I did pass them too, but they were like a relay person. And after that, I didn't actually see anyone, and I just kept going. And I did pass. I admit it. I passed. So they have little lemonade stands, we'll say, but they have like
they had little drink stations. Is what they were. So there were people from town that had these different stations set up where they would wait for the runners to pass, and they would give you like a cup of water or Gatorade or some pieces of watermelon. And when you passed, they'd yell out, water or Gatorade, and then they'd run out and hand it to you. You'd take it off the tray, and then they would all pile in their cars and then go to the next relay point.
Yeah. Which is some of the stuff that Dan and them were actually helping with as well.
Yes, that's something that Dan and them volunteered to help with
because they were volunteered for the marathon too. So like, okay, I like watermelon. It's okay. It's not my favorite. But the last thing that I want to do when I'm running is fill my stomach up with watermelon. So every time I'm passing the Dell, I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. But you're allowed to drink whatever you want on it. And as you know, Dr. Pepper is my preferred drink. So Dad and Gabe came up in the relay thing, and they can relay to hand you water or to hand you stuff like that. And I got a Dr. Pepper from them. So I was the only person that passed this relay thing drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Dad and Noah and Gabe brought Dr. Pepper to the relay station for those people to hand out specifically to Bear.
I'm the only one that drank the Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is few and further between with them, but no, it gave me the energy. Dr. Pepper to me is almost like Popeye's spinach, you know? And so I was going, and yeah, it's a lot, especially trying to push yourself and make it. And I think it was like 5 hours in or something like that, and I'm not really feeling it. I mean, you feel it a little, the blisters and stuff. But with me, so I've always ran a lot, and it takes a little bit to get me tired. And there's a certain point that I've always loved to try to reach, and it doesn't always work for me because I don't always have that long of a day. But it's a certain point when you're running, you feel, oh, okay, I'm getting tired. Oh, I'm exhausted. Oh, I don't think I can go on any further. Right past that point is a point of almost invincibility. And I got to that point, and I was loving every single minute of it. And I was just running, and I even picked up space, and it was pretty awesome. And so I think I placed it 6 hours, 30-something minutes, 6 hours, 20 minutes, or 15, somewhere around there. I was in 6 hours, 15.
Like 6:28.
Yes, because I had like almost 30 minutes or almost an hour before it was actually on a close.
Because this guy beat me by about almost, I want to say 20 minutes.
I think it was about
It wasn't quite a half hour, I don't think.
But it was close to about 20.
It was pretty close to, I think, about 20 minutes. Yeah. Because once he took off, I never saw him again. I passed the local. And
yeah, he passed the local too. The guy ran out of steam, but it was impressive. He did a good job, though. He really did.
No, he
forgot his name.
The whole thing. I can't remember it. I was actually just looking at the thing because it's still listed. Oh, dang. You can look it up.
That's cool.
Like if y'all guys want to look it up, you can look up the 2009 International Marathon on Prince of Wales Island, and you can see our times and where we placed.
I would be listed as Solomon Brown under it because you have to use your given name, obviously. But no, it was fun, and I remember after I was had the breakthrough where I was like, oh, I can just do this forever. I ended up getting towards where like the end was, and I saw all these people, and it reminded me of Star Wars, honestly.
It was like the whole town.
The whole thing.
There were little kids like running along the side of the road like, you can make it. You can
literally. And they're at the end of this thing, and it's the finish line. And they're there, and there's this whole crowd of people. They're all standing there. They're clapping. They're yelling. They're like, you could do it. You could do it. I ran through that thing. I felt like I was out of one of those old 80s, 90s like sitcoms where they're doing the marathon. They run through the tape. Like sports movie. Yeah. Especially son running through it. Everybody goes nuts, clapping and everything. And I actually came in first place of locals. No local Alaskan beat me. I beat all my siblings, and I beat all the locals that were running in it. And I'm not just on egotistical, but I would have placed better had I been running from the beginning. But no, those marathon guys, animals, fierce beasts. Those guys are not only fast, but they've got unlimited stamina and very long legs.
They're fast.
They are fast.
Like, I didn't keep up with them for even like a minute when they first left out the gate.
For a little bit.
You did.
But then I did hold back. I think I could have held my own a little bit on it better than I did just because I wasn't going to compete. But it was so much fun. I had a blast on it. I look at it for fond memories. For the longest time, I had my medallion, and it's somewhere in my Connex now in a little container. But literally, I was like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm going to wear this around. Mom and Dad like, Dare, do not wear that around. I'm like, why not? I want it. But I am jumping the gun a little bit on that one. So when you finished, go ahead.
So for me, there was one point where... So at first, I don't know why, but I had terrible heartburn that day. And it got worse the more I was running. I did have a little watermelon. I did. And it got worse as I was running. And I remember at one point, so Dad dropped off Dr. Pepper to relay for this guy, and he dropped off some Tums for me. So I stopped the relay and got the Tums. And I remember, you might not have had this problem, but I was like sweating like crazy and burning up.
Hot, yeah.
And every time I would pass the relay, like this dude can go with basically no liquid for a very long time, which is not great for you. No, if he's got a little Dr. Pepper, he's good.
Just a little sip. I had just sipped some water too, and I had a granola, like 2 granola bars as well. That I did eat some granola.
Oh, I did have a granola bar. That could have also not been good with the heartburn.
Too, yeah.
And I would grab a cup of water and splash my face with it and then drink one is what I would do. Or drink one and then splash my face and keep running. And there was this certain point in the marathon about a quarter of the way through because I beat
the one local and 2 siblings, if you include Gaby who quit. Well, if you include quitters, I beat 2 locals and 2 siblings. Because I placed second of all locals, beat only by this guy by like 20 minutes, and I also gave everybody like an hour head start.
Yeah, you were hung back for him for a while, too.
Not to be that guy, but I gave everybody like an hour head start. Not that they needed it, because like this guy said, those people are animals.
Athletes,
they're animals.
True athletes.
Round of applause for all those guys. Very impressive. Very.
Impressive.
But I remember there was this one point, it was about 3/4 of the way through the marathon, and Dad pulled up in the car and he's like, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did he tell you that?
He told me, he's like, Bam's not going to make it. I'm like, what?
And they're like, you're not going to make it.
He's like, no, he's not going to make it. And he's like, I'm going to go tell him. Because the time was going to be up and he was just too far behind. I was like, no way, because Bam, he's fast.
And it was my thing. I was the one to run the marathon.
No, it's true. It was totally his thing. I wouldn't have ran it if it wasn't for him.
But Dad gave me one of those Disney coach pep talks.
Kurt Russell.
He's like, he went total Kurt Russell as a coach, and he's like, kid, you're not going to make it unless you pick it up. You got to pick up the pace, and you got to run. And so at that point,
this guy's got mismatching shoes.
And at that point, instead of running my pace, which I'm good at, I'm good with my pace. I can run like the soldier and just keep on going and not slow down. But at that point, I had to break my pace and start actually running. And so from that point forwards, I ran. I was basically running for the rest of the marathon.
Now, had you already passed the other local by that point?
No.
Or was that before you passed him? Okay, I thought so, because he was actually pretty good. I thought so. And you just busted it, right? Because Dad said you just kept running. He told me, he's like, that Bam just goes, I think he compared you to I think it was the Liquid Metal Terminator he compared you to from T2.
I think you were the Liquid Metal Terminator.
Maybe
I saw you. He didn't change pace. He didn't.
No, I held it too much.
He didn't stop.
That point.
Like he was the Liquid Metal Terminator.
Once you reach a point,
and he had the hands, and he was just.
I do keep my hands more open than most people. Once you reach a point, though, you can just kind of go forever. Me, particularly, I can. But no, he was impressive with it. Darryl was impressed with it for sure.
When I knew I was pretty sure I was going to make it when I hit town, because when we hit the town and I was going through and all the little kids are on the side of the road screaming, you can do it, and made it to that point, and I had passed the local and I was just going nonstop. I knew at that point I think I'm going to make it, but I still didn't slow down. And I made it. And where this guy got a little bit of chafing, I lost like 3 toenails.
He did.
From the shoes were not good.
Oh, I did lose a baby nail. I lost a baby nail. Yes, I did. And I chafed my legs really bad and blistered my feet terribly. So my feet are blistered right now, actually.
And also the mileage is as the crow flies.
Yes.
Right? And there's a lot of up and down.
It's Alaska.
You check out a map from Hollis Ferry Terminal to Craig. It's a lot of up and down. And that was not. I don't think that was being counted as.
No,
mileage.
It doesn't count as mileage. It's just the raw mileage. As the crow flies, it doesn't matter.
What was the hardest part for you to run the marathon?
Oh, the hardest part running. I don't know. I think it was just finally when I cut loose and just took off. Because to me, I love to run. I always have. A lot of people, but that was kind of cool. I'd say just the chafing on my legs was probably the hardest part. It was just because I was wearing shorts, and I don't often wear shorts, and they were like this windbreaker kind of material, and they just kind of chafed my legs. So that was probably the hardest part. And then Gabe and I've always been best buddies. It really hurt me when he had to drop out.
That was definitely hard on Bear.
Even if he wouldn't have made the full thing, Gabe would have made at least halfway. Gabe had a lot of heart, too, and actually a lot of stamina. He would have definitely fared better, so that was difficult. But then I'd say the chafing, probably.
Okay.
The chafing.
The heat was a major problem for me. I was overheating a lot.
A good problem,
was a problem for me. And to be honest, I didn't notice. I was so dead set on the running that I didn't notice the feet. I didn't notice the chafing. I didn't notice anything until I stopped. And probably until I woke up the next morning, actually. But did you have the feeling? Because once I crossed the finish line and I stopped moving, I still felt like
like you're moving. Yes, that's actually common. I've actually done that. I've even do that sometimes. But when I'm not running a marathon and stuff, I've felt that when you run a lot, if you're running, especially if you're running for hours and hours, when you stop, you will literally still feel like you're moving. It's weird and hard to describe. But yes, I did feel that too on the marathon. I felt it other times as well. But literally, it almost feels like on a treadmill or something.
I felt like I felt like I had stopped running, but the whole world was still rushing past me.
You're running for 6 hours.
And my legs still felt like they were going, even though I wasn't.
6 hours. The coolest part, though, I mean, yeah, it was cool doing the whole thing. It was
the
cool.
Ceremony.
The ceremony, yes, of course. The Star Wars ceremony.
Yes, because like this guy said, when we crossed the finish line, especially when I crossed it, because it was like towards the end, right? So people knew that we were the locals.
Yeah, they knew.
So when I crossed the finish line, it was very cool. It was like one of those movies.
Yeah, it was.
And I had done it, and there was the whole thing of maybe I won't make it.
Needed,
so like this guy was pretty sure that this dude was gonna make it, right? That was a given. But I was the eye of the tiger in it the whole way and made it, and everybody went crazy, and that was super cool. And cool. Then the ceremony though takes place at a different location. And so everybody had a little time to get cleaned up and then meet for the ceremony. And I remember when we were there, we walked in. And there were all the people,
all the marathons,
from all over the place.
Yeah, literally, a lot of people from literally all over the world. They follow the marathons. So yeah, it's really cool. And they're like all there.
And do you remember when they were like, okay, who ran the relay?
So they start out when they gave me So they start out when they gave me the medals and all. They knew the main people that ran it, and they do the gold mutters and stuff, and then their medals. And then they're like, okay, so who all ran the relay? And all the relay people hold up. And I think did they get some kind of medal?
Yeah, they got the relay medal.
The relay medal, right, okay.
It's a different thing. Yeah, they don't get the blue ribbon.
Yeah, the blue ribbon,
had a different color ribbon.
Yeah, so then they're like, okay, so who all ran the full marathon? My siblings, Bam and I, we step out, and we're like, we did. And they're like, you ran the full one? And we're like, sure I did. And they already knew we did.
All the locals, round of applause.
Yes, everybody there, because we were...
the people that ran the relay, all the locals that were in attendance, everyone.
Big round of applause, everybody. I have never felt more like I was at the end of Star Wars in my life. We stand up towards these like podium things. We're all standing side by side. They come out with these silver medals, but hey, I'll take it, silver and blue ribbon. They come out with these medals and they literally put them around your neck.
Yeah, you stand there and they put it around.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Solo and Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, literally, that's kind of what it was like. Literally, I think I'd be Luke Skywalker, probably. This guy be Han Solo. But no, I've never felt more like I was at a Star Wars like that. It was
I could
really
hear
cool.
the music. I
just about could too. It was cool. Everybody
was that not really playing?
No, maybe they did really have music playing. They might have. Not the Star Wars theme, I don't think though.
Because I could hear it.
I could. It was straight up the end of it. It's Star Wars 1, isn't it? The very first Star Wars.
Oh, you might need to.
Too much? Okay.
A little quieter.
Okay, a little quieter.
Yeah,
turn your phones down. But no, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, and it was cool. It was a cool accomplishment and everything. And like a lot of people, a lot of time when like locals run a marathon, they either do relay or they may not finish it all the way or they give it a good try. But we hit that thing hard, and we did it, and we got the medals, we had the fun. It was good. It was a lot of fun. I love that. Dad was beaming. He had a blast with it. Possibly more fun than all of us did. But it was cool. I still have the medal somewhere. I haven't seen it in a few years, but it's got to be in my Connex buried somewhere. You still have yours, don't you?
I have mine.
Okay.
I still, I have my medal. It's one of the few things I've been able to hold on to.
It's got a picture.
I still have it. I take it out every now and then and just look at it.
I used to polish mine all the time. It has like a picture of Alaska on it, the state of Alaska, and on the back of it has like a totem pole and stuff like that.
And do you remember? We also found out later that everyone in town had a betting pool on whether or not we were going to make it. So we kind of stood out a bit in town. We were always sort of the locals everyone knew about, and everyone up there kind of knew of
We'd always
us
like
and knew each other and stuff too.
Briefly, or like fix a house here and then go back out in the bush. So we were known, but we weren't 100% local because we weren't always there. We were on islands, we were on boats, we were staying there and stuff like that. And so, they did have a pool of...
Well, because they noticed we were jogging around town and word got around that, the Brown boys signed up for the marathon. And the majority of people they bet against us.
I never thought it was very intelligent to bet against me personally. I'm like, you're going to lose your money, buddy.
Well, I remember when I crossed the finish line, there was one local dude, and he's like, "You just made me some money." And then he was like, you just won me some money. I'm like, what are you talking about? And that's when I found out that there was the betting pool.
Oh, I'd have gone even faster.
That people were betting on us.
But yeah, some people did bet that we would make it. Some people bet that we wouldn't make it. I actually think the majority of the people did bet that we would make it.
I think the majority were betting that we wouldn't make it.
Maybe. I don't know. It seemed kind of foolish to bet against me, honestly. But you know, I mean, a marathon's a lot. Just because you see someone run a lot doesn't mean they can run a marathon. But whoever bet against us did lose. Because we did made it. Yeah, or every one of us but Gabe made it. Yeah, and he had to drop out. But yeah, no, we were pretty much heroes in the town too. All the marathon people thought it was cool as well. Everyone there, and like I said, first place a local Alaskan. So.
Oh, and then the whole time we were. You'd go to the grocery store or any of that. People were slapping you on the back, and it's like, you know, good job. You know, you did it. We were in the local paper, and with the rest of the runners, but we were in it.
Oh, and that was a long time before we did the show.
Oh, that was years and years before the show, because actually at that time, that was right after Dad had basically gotten back to being himself from the coma.
Because we originally took him to POW.
Prince of Wales.
Yeah. So when Dad originally woke up from the coma, they wanted him to do like rehabilitation and stay in the cities and do all this doctor stuff. I think they
basically
wanted to fly
live in the hospital
or something too. Again, but yeah, they wanted him to like live in the hospital. And Dad had a bad experience with hospitals and stuff like that. And so us guys, I think I was 17, 18, and a long time ago. And we were like, no, we're not going to do that. And we didn't like break him out of the hospital because we had permission to leave with him, but we took him out and figured that he'd, you know, heal up better, you know, in the bush. And so we got on the ferry. We had an old van, super long van.
I picked up that tourist van.
Oh, yes, it was the tourist van. That's what it was. It was because the church van was later. It was the tourist van.
They were getting rid of it, remember?
Yes, I do. So it's like a stretched out tourist van, because Alaska's a lot of tourism.
Super
and stuff.
Tall.
Yeah, really, really tall. And so we ended up picking that up, and we got ferry tickets, and we took Dad, who couldn't even walk at the time. He couldn't drive or anything. He could barely stand up, and he was like super disorientated.
And driving that van was not fun.
No, yeah. And we got to POW, and we went to actually a campground for a little while, which I say campground. It's not quite like a campground you imagine. It's just a place where you can park, basically.
It's basically just
surrounded by the woods.
Pull-offs here and there is what it was.
Especially back then.
In the middle of nowhere.
But yeah, Dad healed up. We were there 6 to 8 months for that tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Bounced around a few different places.
Different areas.
And out in the forest, way out that one logging road.
Yeah, the one where everyone said not to go. Remember, the locals would always warn you not to go certain places, which is totally respectful. We always stuck pretty tight, though, but it was out past a shooting range, and we stayed there for a while. But they said that Dad was going to be like he was when he first woke up, that he wouldn't have gotten any better. And he did. He got much better. He got to where he could drive again. It took a while. It took almost a year, but he did. He got back. Dad was so strong. He got back, though. He was able to drive again after that and everything. He only had like minor seizures and stuff. Nothing like that would stop him from driving.
They varied.
Yeah, it would vary. I mean, sometimes he'd have the super ones.
Well, he was able to hold it together.
And he could always tell, too. Yeah, he could always tell when they were coming as well. But it was a good time. It was a good time. Fantastic memories a long time ago. Like I said, I was like 18, I think.
Well, towards the end of that, because it was, how long did we have Dad in the forest? Building him back up. Was it like a year?
It was about a year. I think it was a year before he started getting even better.
Over a year.
And then we ended up I think that's when we ended up first going down to try to promote his book.
It was because Dad,
yes.
Because we had at that time we had gotten that school bus.
Oh, so what we did? Right. Oh, I forgot.
Because we moved into
pull the windows out when it drove past.
Oh, that was crazy. Oh. Yeah, because at the time when we found out about the marathon, we decided to run that. We were actually staying at that hotel that we were rebuilding.
Yep.
Remember, there was that guy, and we had to move that one building. He had that outbuilding.
It was like a ferry terminal building.
It used to be an office for the ferry terminal.
Right, office for the ferry
terminal. And the
terminal.
city rezoned it, and we had to jack it up, put it on logs, and move it like 16 feet.
Egyptian railroad.
Which isn't a lot,
crazy.
but...
Oh, it's a lot when it's a house you're moving. I mean, it's a literal building. So
and you were the guy that crawled
Yes, I was underneath it. I was underneath it, rolling the logs and stuff, doing the jacks on it. So basically, it was like a old house, a big building. And so to move it, we had to...
It was like a 24 by 30
big. And so we'd have to jack it up on the corners, and then we had to go under it and jack up underneath it. We had to lay boards under it, and then big logs.
I had to chainsaw out some of the block that pre-existed so that we could jack it up.
which was very dangerous.
And once we got it jacked up, we used the logs because it's the Egyptian railroad thing. So you basically put logs or whatever, and you push something big and heavy across it.
And the logs roll a little bit as it rolls across.
So you got to readjust and stuff like that. But that was a big one. But yeah, the guy let us stay in the hotel while we did it because we were working for him, and we did a lot of repairs on the hotel itself.
Oh, we repaired
that old building.
Rooms.
Wasn't that built?
We did the roof.
Yeah, we did the
walls.
the
we
walls,
painted the whole thing.
All the siding in it, resided the whole
rebuilt
thing.
a lot of the rooms.
And then we also
the laundry room,
right? And then we also rebuilt that other house in Klawock. It was the really old house.
During that summer, I think the count was like 6 houses.
Yeah, we did a ton. We did a ton of houses because we were recuperating and trying to get up this bus, a school bus, because we had planned we had never seen the lower 48 or anything, and so we were going to go down, and Dad had written children's stories, and we really wanted to share them with everyone, and so that's initially the very first time we went down, and why we went down as well was to kind of get Dad's books out there, his children's stories. He hadn't even written a true story at the time. But yeah, that's the first time we ever saw it. And we got this, we got the school bus. It was a 30-something feet school bus.
Yeah, it was a
full-size school bus. To take the seats out, we took all the seats out. We put bunks in it, just like we would do a boat. To take the seats out,
basically a home-built motorhome.
Yeah, basically, and people do that actually even to today. But to take the seats out, you had to hold one of the bolts on inside the bus, and you had to go underneath it and unscrew it to get all the seats out. So that was a bit of a headache. But we had it parked on Klawock, and there's like a road going by one highway.
Yeah, when we first picked it up, it was parked along like you said, along the highway.
The highway, yeah.
In this one spot next to like a ditch on the highway, across from a house that we were actually working on, and that's how we found out the city was selling it, because the guy came out doing something with the bus and put like a sign on it, and we're like, here we go. And before we could get it moved,
a vehicle came through. It's like a sweeper or some kind of road construction vehicle.
It was the one with the blade.
Where
it's like a giant weed whacker.
Yeah, basically, yes.
To a machine,
a big truck.
It's like a big truck that had a giant weed whacker attached to it.
So I'm not sure how or why, but when they passed it, it shot out like 100 rocks, and it busted almost every single window.
The guy put the blade into the ditch to cut the brush and stuff that was growing in the ditch.
Shattered.
And when he did, it sent gravel flying.
It shattered like almost every single window on one side of it. Yeah. Literally, it was terrible. A lot of glass cleanup. The city did actually pay for the repair. It was their fault, and they did opt to pay for the repair for the windows.
Which apparently ours was not the only vehicle that got hit that summer.
Yeah, unfortunate. Oh, and one thing we had to do before you could transfer the school bus over to be an actual motorhome, one of the main things you had to do was paint it.
Take off all the stop
signs, and you had to paint it. It could not be yellow. It could be any color, but it cannot be yellow.
And apparently, that specific yellow is a specific paint color just for school buses.
Literally, like you cannot use it in the vehicle at all. So we sanded.
And not only that, there was no yellow.
Yeah, they're like no
specific school bus yellow. You can't. I don't know if you can even buy.
I don't know.
But they're like no yellow, no orange.
no orange, no yellow. There was what was the other one? I was like, I don't think you could be blue either for some reason.
I think
blue
was
no blue, but we painted it gray. We just did it like a boat.
Gray.
Yep, we slammed that sucker down and primered it. It was actually pretty nice. It was a nice one.
Oh, we fixed it up really well. We were pretty good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Dad was super good at it.
The
way he mapped the stuff out.
Dave even crowned a boat one time. I don't know if you'll know, but a crown is basically slightly bent on a boat. Very hard to make a solid piece of wood bend like that.
Especially at an even crown.
Yes. We actually had local, so we were in Juneau with that one. We were fixing up. It was way before that, before the marathon or anything. And we were fixing up a boat called the Orca. And we added on to it in the back and everything, and we did the crown. / us did the crown, and it made it look just like a boat. And so we had like 25,000 people compliment on the job on the crown. It was pretty good. It's hard. It's a bend. It's a certain type bend. So you got to bend the wood just enough, but don't break it. It's just tricky. Very tricky, but it was good. The Orca was a good boat as well. I don't think that one ever went down. I know the Morning Star, which is another boat we had, went down.
Orca didn't go down.
No, I don't think it did.
But the really trustworthy.
Yeah, she was good. She was good. The Opal went down. Morning Star went down. No, we weren't on the
Opal went very down.
Yes, that wasn't the only time the Opal had gone down. It had been beached before as well. It had sunk 3 times, I believe. if I'm not mistaken. One of the times, I don't think there were any survivors on it either when they found a beach, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't.
No, I'm pretty sure there were no survivors on that one. Coincidentally, there's always stuff like, the ship bell. It's like bad luck and stuff to change the ship bell and things like that. Shortly before the Opal sunk, the bell literally just fell off of it, which I always thought was coincidental. Yeah, because I'm actually opposite luck. I break mirrors for good luck. I step on cracks. I go underneath ladders. But no, it was a good boat. Opal was good too until she sank. But those deadheads are so dangerous. So a deadhead, for those of you so what took the Opal down was a deadhead. We were luckily close to the docks at the time, about 8 minutes out. But a deadhead is basically a log that has fallen into the water and has been in the water so long that it gets heavy and absorbs the water and sinks. And instead of floating across, it starts floating like this. And it's essentially a battering ram. Boat goes across it.
It doesn't float.
Boom. It's hard to spot
too.
too.
Evenly either. It bobs.
You can barely spot him. It's a deadhead.
Under the water and then come back up. And a lot of those are really big trees, basically full-size logs.
With a lot of force sending it out, too.
A lot of force.
You don't realize the ocean is so powerful, especially in Alaska. And I actually missed it. I was out on the side and I missed it. And all of a sudden, boom, I felt the thing hit and all. The Opal sunk within 8 minutes. We luckily got her tied to the dock.
And radar's not going to pick them up really either because of it going in and out of the water.
It's harder to spot them. You can spot them, especially if you have a good radar system, but it's a lot harder.
Especially when you have really old radar. Doesn't function well.
We were just lucky we were close to the dock. Otherwise, it would have been bad. We'd have all been in the kicker or skiff. It was close. My knife, I've had it for a very long time, since I was like 14. My curved blade knife, you've seen it on the show possibly. I've chopped a lot of wood with it. It was in the Opal when it sunk. But when when it was drudged out, it had to fall all the way to the bottom. I had to caught on the bottom of it. So it was pulled out and it made it. I still have it, actually. Taking it to Alaska with me. Good times though, good times. Yeah,
we've had a lot of adventures.
We have. They're just beginning. You got to come to Alaska. Come on, we got to do it. When you want to do some hunting in Alaska?
I do admit I would. I haven't been back to Alaska since Mom's cancer diagnosis.
Oh man, you haven't been there in 8 years, right?
When I left Alaska, I didn't know I was leaving for the last time.
Right,
because I left for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's when Mom's cancer diagnosis came down, and she had to be rushed into treatment, and I haven't been back since.
Wow. Dang, so it's been almost 8 years since he's been to Alaska, and I hadn't gone back. So there was a time Bird and Rain and I went back to Alaska.
And you didn't get my leather jacket.
And that jacket was torn to pieces, dude.
You should have brought me the pieces.
I guess I should have. But when we went back, that was the last time I went back. It was actually the last time I've been hunting and the last time I've been fishing. It was before Dad passed away. It's been 5 years since I've been to Alaska, and 5 years since I've hunted, and 5 years since I fished.
How long were you in Alaska when you
we were there for a few weeks, I think. About 3 or 4 weeks. It was the last time I saw Browntown. The main house was still there. My tree house was there. Everything else had been taken down. The tree house was in poor shape by now. If it hadn't been repaired, the floor would have given way, which you don't want to be in a treehouse and 25 feet off the ground. The floor break, not good. But I don't think anybody had really been there. There's not much upkeep to it last time I was there. I do plan on going back, but I'm not going to this trip. So I'm actually taking off for Alaska pretty soon. And
when are you headed? When are you headed out? And what part are you headed to? You said about Prince of Wales, right?
Yes. So I'm leaving tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to be leaving tomorrow, bright and early, ish, and I will be headed to Haines. So I'm going to drive through Canada to Haines, and from Haines I'm going to take the ferry from Haines to Ketchikan. From Ketchikan, I'm going to take the Inner Island ferry from Ketchikan to Prince of Wales Island. And the property I'm looking at is around Klawock. It's close to Klawock.
Really?
Yes.
It's a nice little area.
It's across the lake, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know that's
I'm hoping it's not muskeg. That's the main thing I'm checking for. So muskeg is all over the southeast of Alaska, and sometimes property will be sold when it's a little hard to live on if it's muskeg. I don't want a muskeg. I want an actual property. So the only way to know for sure is to actually go there and look at the property. It's by a lake, so I'm hoping it's not muskeg. For those of you that don't know, a muskeg is basically a wet marshland. It's similar to a bog or a
swamp.
Swamp, basically. Yeah, it's like a swamp kind of. Yeah, a muskeg. You can also just Google it, and it should have it as well. But yeah, I'm actually taking off tomorrow, and it will actually be the furthest that I've ever driven by myself. It's about 1,500 miles just to get to Haines, yes. I've never driven that far by myself before, but I'm actually ready to go, so
You got everything in order?
Yep, I have everything ready completely to go. I actually postponed briefly so that I could do this podcast with you. Brown Overboard.
Oh, nice.
That's one of the main reasons.
The podcast comes first.
Yeah, you got to get the podcast. No, I really...
I kept trying to get this guy on the podcast.
I'm really busy all the time. I'm constantly doing something.
But he was pushing me to get the podcast going also. He's been a cheerleader for the podcast for a long time. He was one of the first people to do the podcast. He was one of my first guests.
Audio
had have worked.
Yes, I know some people from other reality shows through social media. And some of them, 2 different ones, have a podcast, and they asked me to be on it. I'm like, I cannot be on your podcast until I'm on this guy's. So I turned him down. But no, I've been pushing for his because I believe in this podcast. I think it's really cool. I think you're doing it professional. I think y'all guys get to hear stories you haven't heard or more in-depth versions. We don't have to be in a rush or anything like that. You can slow down with it. Love the name Brown Overboard, guys. You're going to be seeing more of this podcast. I guarantee it. Be sure to also give us a hand by liking it, commenting if you got any questions or anything like that. It really helps out. But no, I believe in this podcast. I think it's really good. I think you should stay on it and keep doing it. I think it's going to be build to be like a main podcast. And I do think that you should get other guests on it. And I know some people from other shows. I know you do too. And, I think it'd be cool to have other people on it too.
Well, I do plan to branch out because right now, like I'm doing the, interviews with other family members and sitting down with y'all guys and all that stuff. And then I do solo episodes.
Right, that's good.
Where I talk about stuff. I think you checked out a couple of them.
Yep. I've dropped into some of them.
Yeah, because you were on the live
chat.
Yeah,
I do the live chat on stuff.
Yeah, and so eventually branching out into bringing on other guests.
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
Like that, because I'm really enjoying hosting and producing.
You do good at it, honestly. You do good at it. He's got the voice for it.
Still figuring it out.
No, you're doing it really good. Very professional. I like it. Like your little symbol thing. I think he's totally got it, guys. And you just stick with us. You're going to be hearing a lot more stories. I will be on it again. We might do one from video, possibly while I'm in Alaska, but I'm trying to make it back by Halloween. So I'm only going to be gone like about a month, and I'll be back. But no, check out the podcast, guys. Share it, watch it, rewatch it. Tell your friends. Shout it from the nearest hill. Brown Overboard, Brown Overboard, Brown Overboard. I love to go overboard on Brown Overboard. Whose chairs are these? Can I squat on these chairs like this? I'm gonna sing it in the rain. Wait, it's not raining. Oh my goodness, it's not raining. I need some rain. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I have a lot of fun here, and I will be back for sure, 100%.
I knew this guy would bring the energy.
I got a headache.
I just hope my mic is okay.
I'm sorry, little Mikey, if Mikey likes it.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for sitting down with us where we talked about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. It's really cool to have Bear on the pod finally.
Yeah.
And he will definitely be a reoccurring guest, of course.
Oh, yeah, I'll be
back.
His
pod, too.
I'll be back, for sure.
All right, so y'all guys have a good one. Stay safe. Always respect the danger, and we will see you next time on Brown Overboard.
Thank you, guys. God bless. No, it's fun, man. I love it. That's cool.
I'm glad you had fun. Man.
Oh, yeah, it's a blast. It's a blast. I love it. You're doing totally professional. Keep it going.